I guess we'll start. I've been told the clock's running slow up there. This is the correct time. So join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, first on the agenda, we'll have commission reports. Commissioner Pennell.
Thank you. The only thing I have is on Friday, I will be attending the Donnie O'Neill Guild lunch here in the Civic Center. It's always a fun event. So that's my report.
Okay. Tomorrow I have a Board of Health meeting, and Thursday I have the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Board meeting, so lots of health issues this week. At this time, any general public comment? Sign-up sheets right up here. It appears nobody's signed in, so we'll move on to the consent agenda. If Commissioner Pennell's ready, we'll have that read.
Yes.
Have the reading, please, Tracy.
Consent agenda, vouchers numbered 81977 through 82070 in the amount of $656,002.62. Wastewater treatment plant design and construction services contract with Parametrics, amendment number 14 to be delivered at meeting. Community development block grant, Mason County Shelter Relocation Project, request for amendment number 1.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Move that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
And I would second that. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. So motion carries. Old business, there is none. This will be a quick one tonight. New business, wastewater treatment plant. I believe we have our city engineer, Mike Michael, for that.
Yeah, this evening, what you have in front of you is actually 2 change orders for the Fairmont pavement restoration. I'm going to turn the mic on before our IT guy over there gets mad at me.
It's too late.
As you were aware, we've talked before, and as we hopefully made apparent when we started this project, because of some of the quick time frames, there were some uncertainties in the bid that went out, and we knew that going in, particularly some of the stormwater issues. We've gotten through all of that. Contract is going well. It's a little bit higher than we anticipated, as we thought, primarily from the stormwater issues. The bigger issue that we did run into is during the rough grading of the portion between Puget and the railroad tracks, we ran into some significant groundwater issues. We actually opened up about 4 little springs that were coming to the surface in the roadway up there. After scratching our heads for a couple days, we really came up with 2 options that made sense. And one made less sense than the other, to be honest with you. One option was to continue with the pavement design as we had it and do some additional base grade stabilization, basically excavating out another couple feet of material, bringing back good material with fabric, stabilizing up. With the utilities that are in the ground, that left us about anywhere from about 2 feet to maybe as little as 1.5 feet we could actually do that in. We were looking at about $175,000, $176,000 just for that stabilization work, and anticipated that we probably would only get about maybe a 10-year life out of the asphalt even doing that. The other option that we quickly jumped to was, how much would a concrete panel road in that area cost us, knowing that that can bridge over a lot of spot not good areas pretty confidently and work quite well. We took a look at that, and internally we came up with somewhere around $200,000, $225,000 was our guess. Taking into account we had about $60,000 worth of asphalt we wouldn't be putting down, that seemed to be a pretty good trade-off. So we went to the contractor and asked the question, are our numbers right? Are they even close? And actually, he came back with very similar numbers. He said off the cuff about $250,000, and ultimately came back with a quote on a change order at just over $235,000. We've kind of been sitting on this for a couple weeks, waiting for USDA's doors to open back up, and as we all know, that happened last Thursday. Bob Tauser and I talked with Dave Donnell on Thursday and then again this morning, and Dave is in concurrence with our assessment here and has given us the thumbs up to move this forward. So this evening, again, we're bringing 2 change orders forward. One to deal with an adjustment in the final grade, which accounted for some significant overrun in the roadway excavation quantity. That's the change order 2 for approximately $57,000. Basically, we had to actually lower the grade about 6 to 7 inches from where we originally planned when the bid went out. That took our excavation quantity to a significant amount where it changed the way the contractor had to actually do the work. Primarily, he had to haul off a lot more, caused him to have to bring in extra trucks. He was asking for an extra $3 a cubic yard for the cost of that, and after evaluating all the details, more than a reasonable cost. Still well under the average bid for that type of work in this region right now. So that's change order 2. Change order 3 is addressing the Puget Street area, the concrete panels. And again, as I mentioned, the contractor has provided us a quote of $235,758 for that work. It's a net change to the contract of approximately $185,000 when we back out the quantities of asphalt work that won't be done under the current contract. Again, USDA has concurred in these changes and given us the green light to move forward with it, so we are recommending that the commission approve these change orders, or recommending that the commission approve these change orders and authorize the city administrator to sign them when they're returned by the contractor so that we can expedite getting them to USDA for final signature and getting the contractor moving on them.
And so just to remind everyone that the reason USDA needed to concur is because this is coming out of the grant funding.
Very good. I always forget that.
That's important.
We just all know that, yes.
Yeah.
This is coming out of the USDA grant for the wastewater treatment plant. This was deemed to be part of the restoration associated with that project. And so USDA has been very, very good, very workful, working with us in getting certain things funded that really should be part of that project, so.
And then just another quick clarification, when they do the concrete panels, what's the timeline on that? Does that require special weather or anything like that?
It actually requires less of a special weather condition than asphalt does.
Okay.
Concrete can actually go down in kind of a little bit drizzly, a little bit more cooler weather actually than asphalt can. We specified high early strength concrete, so it'll be about 3 days from the pour till light traffic could be allowed on those panels. We're anticipating, barring any unforeseen comments back from the county commission, actually probably closing that section of roadway for about 3 weeks once the contractor gets geared up and ready to go on it.
So then folks would go around Arcadia and come that way?
And most folks are right now. We're not seeing a lot of traffic through there at the moment, so it won't be a big change from what the folks are doing at the moment. And that'll allow the contractor to do this a little bit more expediently and get in and out of there and open the road back up and be pretty much done with it at that point, so.
Okay. And since it's on a hill, are we concerned at all about slippage or washing away underneath or anything like that?
Not really. We actually, because of the seeps, we were also going to add in a couple, right at the surface of the subgrade, a couple catchment infiltration galleries to help with that. We're also looking into a couple ideas for potentially keying the slabs into the grade. It's not something that I'm finding DOT and this region is typically done, but there are other regions that do things like that, where every several hundred feet on a grade like that, they might put in a little bit of a key down into the subgrade soil.
Okay, and is that included in this bid?
Yes.
Okay.
How thick do they pour those? normally?
This one's been designed to be 8 inches thick.
8 inches.
And that'll give us somewhere between a 30 and a 50-year lifespan, depending on some assumptions we made on truck traffic. We assumed some heavier truck traffic than there now, looking at some of the potentials for some of our operations or others to move into the vicinity of the treatment plant and increase the truck traffic in that area. So if those type of things don't happen, we'll get longer life out of it. If we get a little bit more truck traffic or more traffic in general, we'll still be looking at about a 25 to 30-year life on this roadway compared to maybe 10 years with the asphalt.
Yeah, I was going to say, it probably outlasts the asphalt.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I think that answers my questions, and Commissioner Pennell is okay with it. I guess we'll do what the staff recommends.
We have it set for action next week. Are you saying we're going to pass it tonight or put it on the consent agenda or for next week, or what are we?
Is there a time? I mean, I think
In
both
this
of us
case,
are-
we're still waiting for the contractor. They just went to the contractor today after getting the thumbs up from USDA. So as structured in the briefing report, we're asking for it to be on consent next week to
Okay.
approve the city administrator to sign them as soon as they come back.
Okay, let's do that then. Put it on for consent agenda next week then. Okay, next item of new business is tourism grants, and that's going to be done by Vicki Look.
Good evening, Commissioners. As you know, we collect funds from the 3 motels that we have in town. They collect the taxes for us, and the state sends it to us. And we anticipated receiving close to $38,000. I think it says $37,900 this year in revenue. We have a pretty good, healthy fund balance there. We anticipate starting the year with about $98,000. So every year we request in August applications from places and like the Historic Society has, they ask for a facility, they have a facility, and the Chamber asks for funds, and we have others that plan special events for us, sort of like the Fiddle Fest and bluegrass from the forest and such. So this year we received our applications they were due the end of August, and we met with our advisory board, which is 2 of the folks that have events or receive money from the tourism fund, and our mayor is the chairman. And we also have 2 of the motel owners that are on that committee, but they usually decline to come in. So we met and they went over the applications, and they recommended the funding as follows. The Mason County Chamber of Commerce asks for $15,300. It was a little bit less than their 2013 by $200. Christmas Town Kiwanis, their event Bluegrass from the Forest, requested the same funding as 2013 of $7,000. Mason County Forest Festival requested $6,000, which was a little bit of an increase from $1,000 increase from 2013, and that's because they're doing more promotion and things of the Forest Festival event by going and taking the float to different cities and participating in their parades and those sorts of things. So Mason County Historical Society Car Show was the same as 2013, $850, and the Historical Society, the museum's visitor center, they asked for an increase of $1,500, and that's because they're getting more folks signing up and getting the newsletters, and they're doing some maps of the walking tour and stuff like that. So that was kind of the reason for their increased funding request. We had SAWC, who used to apply for the Fiddle Fest and also for the Rhapsody Ride, and they declined to submit an application. So there was about $4,000 there that wasn't requested from that group this year. So the recommendation was to fund the applications as they were submitted, and the total for that is $39,150. So, did you have any questions?
No, sounds
Okay.
good.
And my request is, Mike, did you?
Yeah, I'm fine, but I just had a question. Is it only to be used in the city?
Yes, we've
Even
only
the
funded it.
applicants have to be within the city?
We've only entertained applications that have events.
Okay.
Or, there was one year where we partnered with Mason County Chamber. They created a visitor center in Hoodsport, I believe, and we did put some money toward that one year.
And is there anybody that got turned down?
We have, yes, there has been.
No, I mean this year.
Oh, no.
Nobody.
They recommended the funding at the requested level. Yeah. mhm. So then what happens with this, if the commission's good with this, then we ask our finance director to put it in the preliminary budget and present it along with that next week at your study session.
Okay, I would agree with doing that.
Yep, looks good.
So we will recommend that to be done by our finance director, who doesn't have anything to do. She came down for the meeting, so we'll give her something.
She's taking a break, but
Taking
coming
a
to the meeting.
break. Okay, that ends new business. Next, we have administration report.
I think this week is similar to the last week. It's the budget season, so we're doing budget. I ran a little bit of a complication this week because we got a virus, perfect timing, and that ate Excel files on our file server, and of course the Excel is the tool that we use to do our budget. So we're restoring to a backup that was made over the weekend, and we think we're not going to lose too much work. But anyhow, just one of those things. So we next week we'll have a report to you on this, and so long as we resolve this problem. So, well, actually, we have a statutory deadline next week, so that we'll have some kind of report back for you next week. So that's the end of report.
All right.
So,
Next, we have the final moment for general public comment, if anybody else would like to do that, or anybody at all would like to do that. Seeing none, we'll move on to administrative final touches.
touches. Yes, Kathy.
I'll read the resolution in the yellow agreement. This is for our Association of Washington Cities. They're switching, they provide most of our employee benefit programs that we participate in. They're moving from a fully insured program to a self-insured model, and in order for us to participate, we have to pass a resolution in local. The good thing about this is by them moving to the self-insured model, this is why we're having this 0% increase in most of our medical and other health benefits for this next year. And the benefits are the same. There's no lowering of benefits. So it's really good thing. So I'll be bringing that forward. So there's a deadline. It's like, oh no.
Good.
And get it done and get it to them so we can participate with that.
It's good.
That's it? I guess it's time to announce the next meeting will be Monday, October 28th at 2 p.m. Thank you for coming.